guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. I'm really glad to have you here. Please don't hit the subscribe button before you leave, and also give this video a very big thumbs up at the end if you enjoy watching it. Okay guys, I know you missed me. I missed you to give me a hug. Okay, let's hug virtually. Anyways guys, let me just tell you what happened yesterday almost repeated itself today. I almost missed out on the show completely, but I'm glad. Well, I got to my house at about 10:15, so I'm sure I missed out about 15 minutes of the show. But regardless of that, I'm going to tell you guys what I watched. I mean, they say have bread is better than what? Kuli kuli. So let me just tell you which one that I watched, okay? Basically, today there was a guest on the show. He's actually a mental health expert. You know, he came to help analyze the behavioral attributes of the housemates during the show. But you sound so intellectual, even though you are Nolodo. Anyways, the man came on the show today to try and analyze the behavioral patterns of the Peter, stop this. Stop this, you're sounding too brilliant for your age. What I heard Omashola saying as soon as I stepped into my sitting room was that he's really glad that Ike stole his coins. Because maybe if Ike hadn't stolen the coins, he probably wouldn't have gotten to the finals. You know, so everything worked out for his good and all of that. Now, I really do not know what the conversation was like before I got in. So if you watch the beginning of the show, guys, be kind enough. Don't be stingy with information. I'm not stingy with my own. I'm tired, but I'll still come here and tell people. So you that you're relaxing in your house, why can't you just tell me what happened in the comments? Yes, I said people should gist me. Nobody could give me one single gist. One, God is watching all of you in 3D. Anyway, let me just do good one more time and tell people what happened on today's zone, since people could not tell me what happened yesterday. What are friends for if not inconveniences? Anyways, let's just go on with the video. So the part where I started watching from properly was the conversation the doctor had with Jackie. But first, Ebuka had narrated the kind of person Jackie was and the situation that surrounded her during the show, you know, why she was really uptight, her relationship, the way people perceived her and all of that stuff. And the doctor had quite a few things to say. And can I just mention to you guys that these few things this doctor dropped are gems, okay? If you paid attention to what the man was saying, you would understand that the man came with a lot of wisdom, okay? This is the kind of person that we should be shouting, don't leave me, don't leave me. In his words, your network is your net worth. I know that some of you know your English now. Your network is your net worth. In a simple man's language, the kind of people you have around you would determine how much people value you, basically, okay? For him, he actually felt like Jackie wasn't mindful of people's opinion. He said, Jackie, you were quite oppressive. I don't understand computer. I don't understand IT. So you were not relatable. Although you were focused, but then your behaviors were not so relatable. And I kind of get where the doctor is coming from, because personally, I had issues trying to understand the kind of person Jackie was. Because, you know, today she's talking tech, tomorrow she's talking this. And I'm here like, okay, Becca, you read English. You know, there's nothing techy about what you read. So what she was saying during the show wasn't something that I would readily sit down to pay attention to. So when the doctor said all of these things, it didn't really come to me as a surprise. At some point, yeah, Jackie was even asked, you know, how she felt when she came out of the show. And in her words, I was a bit disappointed when I came out of the house. Although my focus wasn't to win, but people did not like me because of my intelligence. People did not like the fact that, you know, I put the techie side of me in front and all of that. Now, personally, I've never thought myself to be a beautiful lady. So I wanted people to identify me with what I have upstairs. That was my approach. I'm open to people that are close to me, not just anybody. You have to be close to me, even as a family, before I can be open to you. I just understood that the good girls never win. I guess that my relationship defined the perception people had of me. Big Brother kind of put me in comparison with other housemates. Now, it's actually harder to define who you are because of the pressures that come with social media. The doctor then went on to say some things. Now, in his words, the world we're in now is a social world. It's a celebrity world. If I take to my social media account to post on anything medical or anything health related, I sometimes get 12 views. But as soon as I post anything celebrity related, I get a lot of views, I get a lot of feedback. And you guys know that that's the absolute truth, okay? Nobody wants to listen to people teach them how to do things like, you know, how to be happy, how to do this. People just want gossip. People just want to laugh. People just want to find out what is happening with you, what is going on in your life. Nobody wants any motivational speaker to come and sit them down and be talking to them. That's the age we're in now. That's why you find that a lot of people keep complaining, oh, when I post how to make your hair video, for example, I know that those videos do well, but I'm just giving you guys an example. When you post how to make your hair videos, you get like 100 views. But when you post how to twerk, how to shape Nash, you will see that you will have views. That's the world that we're in now. It's sad, yeah, but it's the truth. And when Jackie said those things, yeah, I could relate with her completely, because these are things that I witness every day. In fact, Jackie even mentioned that sometimes it actually feels like you're irrelevant simply because you're not on social media. And the doctor stopped her there and made a very valid point. Like I said again, this doctor said a lot of things that made a lot of sense. So if I were you, I would jot these things down, because now I'm the one that is telling you the thing. So I'm your own doctor. The man was my doctor, now I'm your doctor. So get a note, because I have a note, okay? In the doctor's words, he said, you cannot please everyone. Stay relevant, but don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself. You are going to die prematurely if you keep doing that. Your goal should be your focus. Your goal should be your focus. Not what people are saying. Not the perception people have of you. Yes, it's important that you understand what people are saying about you, but it's also important that you filter what they are saying. Because again, somebody can tell me, Betha, you have a big head. Meanwhile, I like the size of my head. So am I going to now feel bad because someone thinks I have a big head? No. What it just means is, Betha, you have to ignore that person because that person does not have sense. That's how I'm going to translate it. And that's the only way I can forge ahead without thinking about it too much. The doctor kept on emphasizing on the importance of coping mechanisms. You have to find a way to deal with whatever situation that you're faced with. So it's okay to find any kind of coping mechanism as long as you know that you're not hurting deep down. Then that's cool, okay? Even our very own Ebuka, our table mover and shaker, mentioned that he has had to go through cyberbullying, okay? He found a way to adapt. It's not like he completely went away. So if you're thinking that, oh, when I come on social media or when I become a social media influencer, people are going to say all positive things about me, no negativity will come to me, honey, you need to rethink, because that's a lie. And for Ebuka, before I forget what I want to say about Ebuka, happy birthday to you, Ebuka. Today's actually his birthday. I pray that every good thing you desire will come to pass. You'll be making us happy. You've been shaking tables here and there. I pray that God will shake the pockets of people that don't want to give you money, so that the money will fall inside your account. Can we just say an amen there? Because this prayer is powerful. I don't know where that prayer point came from. Wow. Guys, the long and short of Jackie's conversation with the doctor is, pay attention to the positives. Pay less attention to the negatives, because they would always be there. In fact, the doctor gave Jackie an assignment. He told Jackie to pick a post, read through the comments, and pay more attention to the positive comments, because, pay attention guys, don't leave me on this one, because concentrating on a problem makes it more concentrated. I love this doctor. Like, let me take that again. Concentrating on your problems make it more concentrated. In other words, when something is harmful to you and you pay more attention to it, they become even more harmful. Okay, you don't have control over these things. Ignore them. Move on. Focus on what makes you happy. Okay, because at the end of the day, you cannot please everyone. Now, it was time to talk about Ike, and of course, Ebuka summarized the kind of person Ike was during the show and all of that. You know, he came across as someone who had a past that he was trying to move away from. You know, he was constantly trying to become a better person, and it almost seemed like he had a problem of suggestibility. Now, what that means, again, in simple man language, because this man was just blowing grammar today, what that means is that Ike was constantly taking advice from people. You know, he would go here, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should not do? He was constantly asking people for their opinions, forgetting that he also had a choice, forgetting that he also had a mindset of his own. But then for Ike, he mentioned that although he agrees with the part where the doctor said he had a past he was trying to move away from and all of that, but the part where he talked about suggestibility, he would agree partially, because yes, he always goes to people for opinions, he always asks people for their advices and all of that. But the twist to that is, he listens to them, not necessarily because he doesn't know what he wants to do. He already knows what he wants to do in his mind, but he just wants them to feel relevant. He just wants them to feel like, oh, you're a part of my life, you know, I take you very seriously and all of that. But then that's not the case in the real sense of it, because Ike already knows what he wants to do. And the doctor mentioned again that that's another form of coping mechanism. He even admitted that he does it sometimes. You know, he asks people questions that he already has answers to, just because he wants them to feel among. I noticed that I also do that. You know, in fact, I do it a lot. Sometimes I'm with people and the place is really quiet or something, and I feel like, okay, better, maybe you should try and just lighten the whole mood by asking a question. Now, I might ask you, oh, this your ring light, is it LED bulbs? Of course I know it's LED bulbs. Shoot, better, you're not that dumb. Of course I know. But I just want you to say something. I just want you to feel important that, oh, Betha is asking for my opinion. And that was exactly what Ike did throughout the show. For the doctor, he classified that as a strategy. He said that that was a strategy Ike came to the house with. And there was really nothing wrong with that, because again, it's a game. But the bad thing would be not defining the boundaries. You know, oh, I want to ask you this thing, but I also know what I want. You know, for the doctor, it feels like it's a good thing that Ike has an idea of what he wants. There was a very important question this doctor asked Ike, and the question was, Ike, do you like the new you? And Ike's response was, yes, I do. But sometimes I don't feel like it's the real me. Because again, it feels like there's a lot of pressure here and there. There's some certain things that he would have done differently. But because of, you know, the way people see him, because of the perception people have, it's really difficult. I mean, these things are actually very difficult. Forget the fact that, you know, we bash them every day. We're saying, oh, you should have behaved this way, you should have behaved that way. It's actually not easy, guys. It's not easy. Especially when you go on that platform and come out. People expect so much from you. But then there's only little you can do. Okay, you cannot kill yourself. Okay, you can't worry and mad. Nobody's going to die because you went to Big Brother Naija house and, you know, you came out as. No, you should also put your emotions first. Now let me just read out to you guys what the doctor said. In his words, we must get to that stage of emotional maturity. We should become who we really want to be and not what people want us to be. I mean, I just summarized everything that this guy said, okay? So you need to pay attention to your emotions. Be sure that you're genuinely happy, because you cannot give what you don't have. I mean, this night I'm speaking like a philosopher. I'm thinking, oh, better. Let's just move on. Next up was Venita, and of course Ebuka had to tell us a little bit more about Venita, and you know, the fact that she was going through a divorce at the time she got into the show. For those of you who did not know, Venita is actually a divorcee. She was actually going through the whole process when she got into the show. In fact, the case was in court already. According to the doctor, he mentioned that Venita appeared too strong to play such a role because of what she was going through, especially in the first week. For him, he felt like she found a very good way to displace her real emotions, and he also termed that to be another form of coping mechanism. You know, she had a lot of issues she was dealing with, but she didn't want to really dwell on them, so she found other things that made her happy, which explained why she was everywhere, you know, trying to be in everybody's conversation, trying to just be busy. And looking back, it all makes sense now, because again, I know that Venita dreaded being alone during the show. Like, she'd always want to have company, you know, either talking or laughing or playing. And you know, when they said all of these things today on the show, it kind of made a lot of sense to me. And I'm just going to read out to you guys what Venita said, you know, when she was asked to speak. In her words, I do not like to worry myself over things I cannot control. I had no problem falling apart and rebuilding myself because I wasn't happy where I was. I knew there would be mistakes, but I'm much more wholesome and happier with myself now. I'm happier with the people around me. In fact, right now, I have a very healthy relationship with my ex-husband. He is very supportive of me. We sometimes play PlayStations together. He likes my posts and all of that. So I feel like I'm in a good place right now, because I've been sad for about 6 to 7 years, but I've just been using motherhood as an excuse. But as soon as my kids were able to do some things for themselves, I realized that I had to do something to help myself. And the thing is, during the show, I let people walk in and out of my life because, again, I was traumatized. I had a lot of things I was dealing with, so people took advantage of that. But now, for you to get into my personal space, you actually have to earn it. And then the doctor was like, yes, there's nothing wrong with you finding other things that will make you happy and, you know, just taking your mind off whatever problems you're having. But then the danger is being sure that you're not just suppressing how you feel, you know, more like moving on without actually resolving whatever it is that you're dealing with. Because again, when you move on without resolving these things, sometimes they come back to play in your head, sometimes they come back to affect you, and it just makes you less productive, it just makes you less of what you're supposed to be in the real sense of the word. So it's very important to resolve your problems before moving on. Now, it's okay to take some time off if you're not ready to deal with them yet, but it's very important that you don't forget to resolve it before you move on. Better this night, it's like they need to give you a watch. They need to give you people. Oh God. And then almost immediately Venita finished speaking, Tasha decided to chip something in. For her, she mentioned how proud of Venita she was. She was like, oh Venita, I'm really proud of you because you've been able to set an example for women. Women who are in the same situation as you were. Women who are in abusive marriages, women who constantly get beaten by their husbands, but then they are just too scared to leave because, oh, what are people going to say? Oh, what are my family members going to say? What are my kids going to do? I mean, you don't necessarily have to stay until they beat you to death. Okay, if they beat you to death now, who will take care of those your kids? Now, it might not even be a case of you getting beat up by your partner and all of that, yeah. It might just be a case of you being traumatized emotionally, you being traumatized physically. Now, these things are actually problems as well. What is the motive of you staying behind when you know that you could actually lose your life in the process? I mean, if you really care about those your kids, if you really care about your family members, then you do something for yourself, because you cannot remain with an animal just because, oh, I'm married to him. And let me just point this out here. It's not only women that get emotionally traumatized. Men also suffer from the hands of badly behaved women. Okay, so it's not just about the women. Men go through stuff a lot. It's just that the women's problems are more pronounced. So I'm not going to sit here and act like men don't deal with stuff, because they actually do. In fact, they deal with a lot of stuff than we think. Okay, so it has to be balanced. I mean, for crying out loud, Venita mentioned that she and her ex-husband are in a good place. They both take care of their kids together. The fact that they're divorced doesn't mean that they have to end up as enemies. So if you can walk around having that kind of relationship when you get a divorce from your partner, then that's fine. If not, you figure your life out. Let him go and figure his life out too. Let's not stay with ourselves and then kill ourselves in the process. I'm not married, so yeah, I might not really understand the nitty-gritty of marriage and all of that. But in my opinion, from what I can see, well, from afar, because I'm not in the marriage, okay? What I can see from afar, a lot of people just remain in their relationship because of what people would say, because of how the society will perceive them, and that's totally wrong. We need to stop it. Okay, now that's basically everything that happened on today's episode, except for the fact that Tacha made a statement. So I'm just going to read that out and round this video up. Okay, in Tacha's words, I tried to mask my emotions because I wasn't sure about anybody. Now, I'm sure that she's definitely going to talk more on that on the next episode. I know I didn't come here with all my jokes and all of that, and that's because today's topic was quite sensitive, and it will be very insensitive of me to talk about sensitive issues in a very insensitive manner. Better. Don't leave me. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. And please subscribe to Betha's Corner. That's my lifestyle channel. That's where I talk about my life. Okay? That's where I talk about things that are bothering me, things that are worrying me. Tinu. Okay? I'm going to leave the link in the comment section as well as the description box. Please subscribe to that channel, watch my content there as well. Please, I'm begging you. Okay, I need to reach 4,000 watch hours, and I also need to reach 1,000 subscribers. I cannot do that by myself. I need your help. Alright, thank you so much for being here. To all my new subscribers, I love you. Okay, and to my oldies but goldies, you guys are like gold. You are worth more than gold. Okay, what I'm trying to say is I love you guys so much. I value your presence here. Of course, I do not take it for granted. Okay, thank you guys so much, and I'll definitely see you on the next one. All right, bye.